conversions, and welcome back to Krown's.
Oh my god.
Magical Internet Money Cave!
Oh, baby, we're back. And we even got the introduction back in town as well. And it's a nice little Thursday morning action going on right here with Bitcoin doing actually very, very little. Very, very little indeed. Good effort, says Mr. African Crypto Warlord. A good man, a good friend, an OG of this cave. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, you know exactly where I'm going with this one. You know exactly where I'm going with this one, sir. Have you heard of any yes action? I've heard of, oh my God, I put it on the wrong thing. Motherfucker. Oh, I had it oh so ready. And now it's just the worst. But hold on, I think I can actually fix this. Can I fix this? Yes! I can fix it, motherfucker! Damn, that was some quick action right there. Yes. What's up, Dad Rackus? I see a lot of familiar faces in here as always, which is really, really good. I always like seeing OGs of this cave. Crypto, Kiwi, Durian, Mr. Damien, G Money, Harvest. What the hell does that mean? I don't know, but it's good. Matthew Smeed, quickly becoming a OG of this cave. And Jojo the Terrible, nice name right there, the Catacombs. Craig Gee and Rave Elevator. I know this man. And Shibanachi and Ramen Profitable Crypto. It's a good name right there, man. That's a great name, actually. Do you watch The Critical Drinker? Actually, I do. And that's where I picked it up from yesterday. That was just fucking phenomenal, man. This new Star Wars show, The Acolyte, I think it is. It's just, it's like a hilarious just combination of meme after meme after meme. And my lord, man, it is just, it's actually kind of sad, honestly. It's actually kind of sad. I do like Star Wars, but unfortunately it looks like it's been co-opted. It's been co-opted for the LGBTQ plus whatever the fuck crowd, and who knows what else they're going to be doing with it. So soon enough, we're going to be having gay Jedis just having orgies and shit with Sith, and that's the way that everything's going to be solved. And you know what? That's really the way of the future anyways. We just all fuck it out and be gay. Be gay as fuck. Or who knows? My corns! The lesbian space, which is indeed Mr. Second Time, or Second Tim too. Or FJB says Genocidal Joe. We have, it's like... absolutely no one. FJB. Fair enough, man. I can see that you're very what's it called? Enthusiastic. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Need to bring up another window over here so I can actually see the chats in real time. That would be good. I can see that we got a few likes on this video as well. 105 people have been smashing their face on the like button, which is, I don't know, probably good for your health as well. Children of the Corn, good morning to you as well, sir. Gay Jedis win. That's right, gay Jedis win. I mean, everyone knows. Everyone knows this, man. Everyone knows this. The new Sith is hot, though. Yeah, I think they're non-binaries too, or at least I can't fucking tell what they are. Good morning from Pattaya. Good morning to you as well, sir. I know a lot of people living in Thailand right now. People seem to absolutely love Thailand. We'll get into the analysis soon enough. I want to give a bit of time for people to join in here. Still relatively light in the morning, but you know, I can't really expect like a full house today just because things have been rather lackluster in terms of action. But of course, during these times, you know, as always, as we say, important things do happen. It just takes a lot of patience, of course, and you know, likely setting up for an explosive move. I do suspect. I mean, still probably Q4 of this year. Honestly, it really does seem like a repeat of many years prior. Boring summer with Bitcoin really not doing all that much in terms of significant price action just yet. They cut off their lightsabers. They cut off their... That's right. They cut off their lightsabers. Very clever there, sir. Very clever there. Not quite savage. Nice one, man. I see a lot of people here. I see a lot of people in the Discord as well. A lot of people have been joining the Discord recently. I should let you know that you can also join the Discord as well. I'll just show you where the link is. It's in the description right here. It's kind of far down. Oh, wait, no, it's actually right here. The Cave Discord trading community. You can meet all sorts of very interesting people. Some very, very amazing people. Also some very questionable people as well. But we're all part of the same place, the cave, so that brings us all together, which is good, man. You can meet amazing people like Eros, who uses vibes and boxes to trade. It's really, really good, man. It's a well-tested strategy. Never fails, my man. Never fails indeed. Anyways, I need to work on some of this caffeine over here. Had a little bit of a late start myself this morning, but I've had my burgers for breakfast, which is good, and now it's time to wash it down with some well, who knows what the hell is in this one, but it's good, man. It's very, very good. I am questionable as well. Yeah, I mean, look at me. I mean, Jesus Christ, you can't fucking tell that from my picture. Like, Jesus. I second the questionable people, says Matthew. Yeah, man, you know, we got a lot of characters in the cave. We got a lot of characters in the Discord there. Again, it's 100% free to join on in. I just would say that if you are going to join on in, keep those expectations very low, very, very low. Okay. If you are sensitive, don't join. Definitely don't join. The OGs of the Discord are just the best fucking trollers of all time. I mean, I've seen some like god tier level trolling in there from some of the OGs. Just some some legendary conversations. I love it, man. I absolutely love it. And, what? And also, Elsa would like to say, don't send her emails if someone's being inappropriate on Discord. She doesn't care. She doesn't care. Look, unless the people are like actually breaking rules, it's not going to matter that much, man. It's not going to matter that much. Please play the Howling Woman for 15 seconds. No problem, sir. I got it right here. Wait. I'll show you something new, actually. All right, shut up, you dumb, dirty bitches. I'm going to bring you over to this, okay? This is the dark side of TikTok, all right? I found this channel. They're fucking amazing. They're called Your Mom's House, and they just do the best of the best of the best of TikTok, and y'all need to know what the hell is going on over here with Batarina, our vampire girl.
The way it is.
Ready?
All right, up next, what's the next TikTok curation?
So this next one is the original Batarina.
It's coming up.
Fine. Since I have to fucking do this.
Duh.
Hi guys, I'm Batarina. Please don't ever fucking call me that.
By my
when
name.
you talk with me.
Yep.
Please call me Rena if you have to.
Duh.
If you couldn't tell, I'm a 21-year-old vampire. Look at the fucking bat ears on my head.
Yep.
And one thing to definitely know about me is do not ever fucking piss me off. That's the wrong thing to do. Bye.
That was a nice positive message. Like, what are you? The first comment here, not quite savage, says Fatarina. Don't fucking call her that, sir. Jesus, you just violated rule number 1. You pissed her off, you bastard. Anyways. Instant 70+ likes. Yep, that's the way to do it. Bring in the Batarina vampire girls. That's what we need over here. Just refreshing my pages and everything. Is that parody or real? Well, you would be very wise to be asking such a question, but this is very real, sir. This is TikTok, man. You can see all sorts of levels of mental illness on TikTok. It is amazing. It is just fucking amazing. I love watching it with Elsa at usually, you know, the late hours of the night when you're under certain influences and you're ready to just immerse yourself in absolute fucking idiocy. Can I take her home to mom? You can, but well, hopefully mom has a vampire policy. LOL, I love Krown. We're back, baby. We're so back, says Big Tuna Crypto. Big Tuna Crypto. What is that a reference to, man? Big Tuna Crypto. Anyways, everyone get your fucking tunas out and these little wings, I know, they're so good. They're so fucking good. Anyways, I'm working on this caffeine over here. We'll get the show started soon enough. I'm just getting everything ready in the background here as well. Getting all my charts and notes ready over here. Like I said, I was a little bit rushed this morning as I typically am. I probably need to actually move the time for these streams maybe a little bit back. When we go back to Dubai, certainly we'll do that. But for now, well, we'll just have to make it work for the summer here. But let's see. Okay, yes, let's get the hourly right there. Okay, good. All right, making a little bit more notes. So we got some to actually go with. Zara says they have weed in Helsinki. Yeah, man. I mean, it comes from Russia, I guess, but at least the Russians are good at one thing. Salim says, I'm noticing the internet influencers using big guys as bodyguards. How about we start using big Jews as bodyguards? Thoughts? I don't. What the fuck? What are you talking about? And more craziness from the comment section. Jesus Christ, I don't know what the hell to make out of that, but but okay. These are the best times. No need to change. Awesome, man. Yeah, I'm glad that it works for some people. I have been having this thought recently. It's like, okay, should we set up a base actually in America just so that we can do like real streams at the best time? American morning is actually the best time still, but we'll see. We'll see how Elsa likes that. And oh dear Lord, man, we got some very interesting usernames here and very interesting messages. I don't know. Maybe the mods need to do something there. Who knows, man? That one's just asking to be fucking moderated. God damn, man. I'm in Cali right now. It's good. Yeah, I understand. It's probably good for the people in California, but probably on the East Coast and in the Midwest as well. It's going to be a little bit difficult there. Do I think you'd be a good American? I mean, I think you'd be a great Republican, actually. You'd fit right in. Elsa's very, very much on the right side of the political spectrum at this point. And I think I think it's time, actually. If Trump gets elected, then probably we go back to America. What?
I'm not on the right, I'm just normal.
Elsa says, I'm not on the right, I'm just normal and not a freak. I see Caretaker's in here. Good morning to you, Mr. Caretaker. 112 degrees in NorCal. Really? In NorCal? Doesn't typically get too hot right there, man. I grew up there myself and don't really actually remember it ever getting that hot there. But whatever, man. Salim says, bruh, that shit autocorrected. YouTube, WTF. I don't know, man. I don't know what you were trying to say, but I'm trying to interpret meth as a language. Please, no base in Europe, base in Thailand. What's actually the time zone in Thailand? That would be the better question to ask, because what I really want to do is I really want to get the American morning back, just because that was the best time, honestly. That really was the best time. Good morning to Mr. Bear Nutrition as well, our lovely moderator team, keeping everyone here safe in Safu, which is good. Which you haven't even heard anything about Safu in quite some time now, man, since CZ is gone. It's a different market now, isn't it? Yeah, man. There you go. Crazy on the West Coast. 105 in Portland. Holy shit. So the West Coast really is experiencing some sort of crazy heat wave going on right now. I remember I actually lived in Oregon for a while too. I went to the University of Oregon in Eugene. And during the summer, it sometimes actually did get very, very hot and humid and just insane allergies there as well. I don't know how it is now, though. When the cave was dark. Yeah, I did enjoy those times. It's actually kind of dark here in Finland right now just because summer is, I guess, over already. I don't know. It was raining the other day. It's kind of crazy, man. Hi from Australia. Good morning to you from Australia as well. Elsa, we need you to save us from the heat. Yes, she needs the heat. She can tone it down. Anyways, I think we just got a few more sips here and then we're good to go. You what? You have magical powers. Yes, you do. Anyways, all right. Looks like we got everything situated over here. I think my notes are just about complete at this point. Getting all kind of emails right now as well. A lot of people turning on to the power of the historical price action statistics indicator at this point. I've seen a lot of people starting to get into that, which is pretty cool just because the functionality of it is starting to, like, we're really starting to dig deep into it. In fact, I'm starting to create a lot of strategies around it, just like looking at flows. It's super interesting. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about that today as well, because I do think it's a different way to trade, certainly, but there's certainly something to it. I mean, the past results certainly do confirm that. I mean, it was actually kind of crazy for me to see. Just how obvious some things are. Anyways, do you ever use Bookmap? No, I've literally have no idea what that is or means. Colorless green ideas. Sleep furiously in the what the? Did you just type into ChatGPT to make some sort of nonsensical statement? What the fuck? I feel like all these words were replaced with something that actually means something there. CPI data today, yeah, probably a good, good catalyst to get some short-term moves. But I actually I don't think we're going to see anything like super crazy today, honestly. Still, Ben Mo says order flow too. I mean, that literally is order flow, is actually seeing, when orders are coming in, when the volume actually is coming in, when moves typically do happen. That is like literal flows in the essence of it. Greetings from Puerto Rico. Nice, man. All right. Got some Puerto Ricans in here. They're very good at boxing, actually, is what I've learned. I love The Office. Actually, I've actually literally never even gotten into that, man. Hey, dude, cheers for all the advice over the years. Looking to buy my first apartment with BTV gains very soon. It sounds like some sort of shitcoin. That's awesome, man. Love from Australia. Love from Australia. Hate from Finland. Kidding, man. It's just there was this great TikTok, you know, this lady who was a very positive lady, and just people would always leave her mean comments like hate from Australia, fuck you, we hate you. This isn't advice, this is not financial advice, that's right. Hate from Vancouver, that's right, we hi from Mexico City, what? Notice me, what's up, D-Block? You've been noticed, sir, you've been noticed. Not financial advice indeed, man. We don't do financial advice here, that's very illegal. What's up from Singapore? Nice, man. Singapore, we actually might go there in September. It's possible. From Venlo, don't know where the hell that is, man. Oh, it's Honig. What's up, Honig? You're Dutch, aren't you? Right? I think. At least that's what I have in my mind. Hate from Tennessee. Cryptown. Are you Tone Vase? Is that Tone Vase? Is Tone Vase still doing his thing? I'm actually curious, man. I haven't checked on him in a long time. I need to do some research here. Let's see. Is he still rocking and rolling? Yeah, he actually has a new video as of 4 days ago. Nice, man. All right, Tone. Keep it up, man. Keep it up. He was one of the OGs before I even really got started on YouTube. That's crazy. Anyways, I think we're almost ready here. 2 more sips and then we're good to go. Farhan, what's up, man? He says feeling very gay for TA today. That's right. I'm feeling queer for TA as well. Indonesia says fuck you as well, sir. Fuck you and see you tomorrow. My name is Hugh too. Hugh Chascock. Ah, did you think of that one all by yourself, sir? Very clever indeed. Yeah, we got some more chit chat here. Just about ready though. Just want to give a little bit more time. It is, like I said, probably a little bit of a quieter day here. We got 665 people in the house right now, 207 likes on the video as well. And that's probably where we're going to be. You know, you can't really expect too many people during these somewhat quieter times, I guess. But, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. I started my YouTube channel because of Krown. That's how I got into shorts. Nice, man. Sweet stuff indeed. I see $Mog. I see a lot of people actually talking about Mog recently as well. Even one of my good friends talking about Mog, which was interesting. But I don't know. Perhaps we could check on it today. What about Bonk? Bonk coin? I don't know. I guess we could see that one as well. They're all kind of the same shit to me, but whatever. Let's get some astrology for men. That's right. I'm the head astrologer here, and we can see some very clear indications in the clouds as of today. It's me, Harry Blue Bleakar. Oh my god, man! I feel like I'm playing Hooked on Phonics right now, sounding this shit out. All right. Okay, there we go. That's the end of the caffeine. I think we got just about everything ready over here, so we can get right on into this one. I probably won't record this video for later because, well, that's just what it's going to be. Anyways, starting off over here on the 5-day time frame, I think that the HPDR bands just get this range incredibly well. We pointed this one out as soon as we got that new 5-day range. Bitcoin just playing between the 61.8 level and likely the 78.6 to the downside. I think that's still going to be the range for the rest of this 5-day period, probably even the one after that as well. But I do want to say at the outset of this video that's basically as long as Bitcoin's kind of oscillating between here, this is going to be that sort of situation where we see Bitcoin kind of turning its wheels, spinning its wheels, but it's not really getting anywhere, and actually will start to very likely morph into a bullish reset, as that again could imply a retest, kind of around the current lows, maybe upon today's event with not FOMC but CPI data coming out, but ultimately it doesn't really do anything for the bear laws or the bull laws here. It's just more time spent, and more time spent without continuation to the downside in this case is kind of the same situation that we've been speaking about for the last 5 days here, in the sense that, look, if bears are going to take over, you really do expect it to continue like from here to, I mean, not today, but in this 5-day period, maybe latest one more period after that, but ultimately this is the bear's opportunity to actually push things further to the downside. And seeing as, it's now been 3 days into this next 5-day period, we haven't really seen anything, of significant interest here. It does make me really start to think that, hey, Bitcoin is going to dig in its heels here. It's probably going to spend some more time here, just boring the shit out of people, but that's going to, again, eventually favor the boo laws, assuming that, we just don't have we don't have new lows within about a week from now. Moving on from there, I do want to get into a little bit of Thursday statistics over here. We can see that Thursday again is more or less a coin flip in terms of whether it's likely to close positively or negatively, but in terms of returns, it's actually it's actually on the lower end as kind of a slightly lower. In fact, actually, now that I recognize it, it's the lowest volatility day for a weekday specifically. Obviously, the weekends have lower volatility than this, but again, kind of boding well for this scenario with Bitcoin kind of just eating up time on the lows here. Looking at the average returns, it's basically the same on both sides, just under 2%. So we can come up with an area of interest both to the upside and the downside, similar to yesterday, and to the upside from today's open. Almost 2% to the upside would basically be a retest somewhere around yesterday's high, but not necessarily new highs. And of course, 2% to the downside basically puts Bitcoin, back down around about $56,500. So, likely the range for today. I don't think Bitcoin's going to be seeing any like significant moves today. Likely just range plays again, which will favor the Bulas more long term here. Moving on from there, I actually want to look at and show you the hourly analysis of not Tuesday but Thursday here, and just see what is the hour that we're most likely to see some actual price action movement. And for this, I like to look at both the high-low range and volume. High-low range correlates better to volatility. Volume obviously is just volume, and they kind of should be around each other. And we're probably likely to see this one move sometime around about 2 to 3 UTC today. Somewhere around there is where we probably do get a little bit of a wick party. But like I said, I don't think that we're going to be seeing anything like super crazy in terms of average gains, average losses. Around that time as well, there does seem to be a higher probability. Actually, there is not really anything super obvious here. Yeah. That's just that is actually just the hour that we do expect on Thursday to produce a little bit of price action movement. Other than that, things are pretty muted across the board. It's not really a super interesting day actually since 2024 began. Thursday has been pretty boring, dare I say. So I'm gonna take that off for right now. We can go into the next chart. Looking at stochastic momentum. Again, 5-day time frame continues to the downside. Let me actually go over to this one right here. I do want to say, also kind of supporting the theory that the longer that Bitcoin kind of stays here without breaking down, the more and more inevitable that this trend line test will be. The same trend line that has held in some pretty significant lows, not necessarily all-time lows or anything like that, but significant lows, major lows throughout the last 2 years, going back to literally January of 2022. All of these tests on this trend line have produced at least 50% moves or more in terms of bounces. And of course, the ones in 2022 did lead to new lows after that. So it doesn't necessarily imply anything other than that. But again, you are going to see an inevitable test of this, not on this next period, but the one after that. So let's say like 10 days-ish from now. So perhaps another impetus for a bounce or another thing that corroborates the story of likely a bounce. Again, assuming that Bitcoin just doesn't really, trend towards significantly new lows from here and continues to hold the range being the 5-day HPDR range right here. Basically, not really anywhere significantly above this week's high at 59.5, nor below about 54.5. That is likely going to be the range. And if Bitcoin continues to hold that within the next 5 to 10 days, then you will see this tested over here, and it will very, 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 very likely indicate a nice, decent sized bounce incoming. On top of that, we still do have, or actually I need to check in on the daily bullish divergence that we identified a couple days ago, see if it is actually fully confirmed as of right now. Let's let the chart load right in over here, and we can see we have one drive confirmed. Yes, it does look like it. Yes, it does look like it is confirmed here again. So overall, very likely we do see a test towards $60,000 at some point. Does it come today? Does it come, tomorrow over the weekend? I don't know, but very likely we do see a test somewhere right around there before any sort of potential breakout or breakdown. But still, that would obviously just eat up time, and still kind of plays into the more long-term view that, look, if Bitcoin just if Bitcoin just continues to go sideways here, that is going to at some point indicate that I wouldn't necessarily say it's bullish, but very likely ready for a bigger bounce. Looking at our fib targets over here, areas of interest to the upside on any sort of an extended bounce. Can come up actually a lot more than what I was thinking. But same thing as yesterday. 60,500 to the upside would be the first area, obvious area, probably also in alignment with that bullish divergence. So somewhere around there. Above there, you got the 50% level just below $63,000. Do kind of have to be cautious as long as Bitcoin is below there. That is essentially the last sort of trending lower high, as you can see right here. And what I mean by trending lower high is the last lower high before Bitcoin did make new lows from that high. high. So that is why it's a very important high, also correlating with that 50% level. And if Bitcoin does start to pop back above there, that's going to start to look like very, very good for the long term. Until then, still kind of in limbo here at the lows. But yes, that is probably the totality of the analysis for today. I mean, there's really not much else that we haven't really spoken about from yesterday, nor today's short-term video. So, still more time spent, more wheels turning here, and I think today's video is actually gonna be very enlightening for myself to see a lot of the shitcoins, because if Bitcoin is going to dig in its heels here, we probably expect a lot of the altcoins to be doing something somewhat similar. We just more importantly, we wouldn't be expecting altcoins to be suggesting continuation to the downside, from their current posturing. So a lot of the time we can get clearer pictures just from looking at that, and I expect that that's going to be a big focus for at least me today. So I'm gonna check out on some of the comments over here, see what sort of shitcoins we got lined up for today. I see Davey Davey says AVAX daily weekly. Yeah, we can start off with that one. Let me pull up this chart. I like looking at this one for the shitcoin analysis typically, and let's see what AVAX is doing. Kind of a par for the course shitcoin, like not super interesting, not super strong, not super weak, just kind of par for the course. And in this case, we're getting any sort of super obvious indications right here. It's obviously it's obviously certainly not as strong as Bitcoin. Overall long term, very ugly, but I'm not saying anything super obvious here. Actually, the obvious thing is closing back below about 24.5 bucks, and yeah, you should expect new lows from this current low, probably down to like 19 or so. But it does look like it's going to follow whatever Bitcoin does as usual. It's not going to be as strong to the upside as usual. It will overperform or underperform, I guess, to the downside, meaning that it gets a lot more wrecked to the downside. And realistically, man, probably not the one to be watching. That's just my 2 cents and my two Ds. Looking at the monthly here, I mean, obviously this is very, very ugly long term, but should you expect something like this to break down if Bitcoin doesn't break down to new lows? No, at least not in the short term. So that's what makes it difficult. Weekly time frame, stochastic momentum is very beat up here. Wouldn't take too much for this one to turn up at the end of this week at 24.5 bucks. That would be my big pivot for this one. As long as it's about 24.5 bucks, I'd give this one the benefit of the doubt. Say, hey, it's probably got another bounce in it. Assuming that Bitcoin does bounce as well. Bounce targets for this one. Okay, probably not that high. Let me see if I'm on log scale here or not. No, I'm not. So that is actually very, very nasty. What the fuck? We must be on log scale right here. Yeah, has to be. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Jesus. Long term, very, very hard to love as long as it's below about 44 bucks. But yeah, it can bounce, I guess, somewhat significantly percentage wise here and still kind of retain this overall long term ugliness. I mean, that is just. You don't have to fucking get into these things, man. You don't have to. I see Salim with a tremendous, that is a tremendously generous super chat, man. XRP, sure, we can look at that one, man. XRP must be treating you well, sir, right? Wrong! Very bad, as usual. I mean, long term, to be fair to XRP, I do think that it is setting in long-term range here, and it is showing some signals of accumulation. The question is, when does it join the rest of the market, and will it be as strong as the rest of the market pound for pound? Probably not, man. Probably not, just because, again, it's gone through multiple cycles within this overall consolidation range, not making new all-time highs on those new cycles. It's just hard to love anything like this long term when you could consider the opportunity cost of being in mostly anything else, especially newer things. It doesn't seem to like to join too much to the upside and to the downside. It does join to the downside, but not. At least it doesn't like fully break down, on its macro structure. So at least there's that. But from here, is it more likely to bounce or not? Probably yes. It is likely to bounce and, continue to kind of shake itself sideways and up here, maybe back around 50 cents. But, long term, these are not interesting things. This is not an interesting thing long term at all, in my opinion. even if it did have like a major macro breakout, it's just the implications would be that the general market is just significantly stronger. I mean, this one is relative weakness by definition. I mean, the most obvious way to be looking at this is just looking at XRP BTC pairing, right? And when we look at this, now we actually do have a long-term macro downtrend. And while this one probably is getting ready for a bounce here as well, I would be looking for that bounce on a monthly time frame to put in another lower high, actually. We can see where, actually, that is way too generous right there. Let's go from the last trending lower high. In this case, I mean, technically speaking, it could bounce up significantly, and only it could bounce 2x on its Bitcoin pairing and only hit the 382 fib. And to me, that is extremely fucking bearish long term. Even though percentage wise, it could have a very nice bounce here, and probably does. In fact, I'd say, it wouldn't be asking for too much even to get like a 50% bounce here, or even close to 100% bounce here, maybe into the end of this year. But again, that just means that long term, it's going to very likely continue to underperform Bitcoin after this next bounce. So it's these sort of things. It's just very difficult to love them. Very difficult. I mean, it's just ugly as shit. Ugly as fuck, man. Jacob Virgil says coins stock daily weekly. Nice, man. Actually, I'm happy to look at this one just because this is one of the few stocks that I do own. I'm actually like quite, I guess I've been a lot more active in traditional markets recently with sort of long-term investing. Look, Coinbase still very, 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 very long-term. I don't hate it. I mean, long-term, like very long-term, I do think that it's going to dig in here. But just like Bitcoin, I think it takes its time. You might get one more test back down to the bottom end of this range, closer to $200, something like this. But ultimately, consolidating above the $200 region is going to be long-term good. And, get another bounce right there is going to look like, yet again, another higher low on the higher term timeframes and correlate well to, just a general strong stock market. I mean, one of the reasons why I've been focusing a lot more on stocks recently is just because, I guess this past year is just because, well, look at it. Like, you don't need to be a fucking genius to play this market. I mean, you could say that for cryptocurrency as well, too, right? But at the end of the day, I mean, this thing's been vertical since April 2024, and it's just, I don't know. Don't need to make it any more crazy than that. Looking at Coinbase back on over here, long term, like I said, I do like it. I just think it's going to take a lot of time consolidating at these lows. Preferably doing something like this. Maybe does trade a little bit lower here first, but ultimately anything above $200 is bullish long term. Below $200 on a weekly closing basis, okay, yeah, you got some problems. This thing very likely does have a monthly reversal at that point. It can very easily come back down well below $200. I mean, 150 to 175, but for now, just give it its chance. It does have kind of like the right backdrop as well, I do believe. So, another month, maybe 2 months of consolidation, and then probably does make its move or try higher into the end of this year. I'd be looking somewhere around like Q4 of this year. Again, summertime's just very likely to be, continuing with this boring sideways price action, which, fair enough. You could look at as an opportunity to accumulate for the long term if you are long term minded, which I'm guessing you are, granted your time frames. Anyways, Andrew says Caspa daily weekly. Okay, we have symbol KAS. Remember, this one was very popular about a year ago. You can see why, because it actually has, for an altcoin, a very good chart, a very, very good chart. Looking at the daily and weekly, let's see what we got right here. I remember we looked at this one last week. We said, hey, long-term good, short-term continues on with the consolidation, likely down short-term. That's exactly what we got. My LARP lines here are pointed a little bit lower. I don't know necessarily if we get all the way down around there, but ultimately this is, as long as it's kind of oscillating between these two boundaries right here, long-term it is going to be very, very good. Looking at the weekly, and sorry, when I say long-term very, very good, I mean, likely to make new all-time highs. When I look at the weekly right here, actually, let me bring it up on this chart because I do want to see if there is like significant divergence building right here, because that would make me a little more cautious on it. Technically, there is divergence building, but this is unlikely to create like real bearish evidence. Typically, you see those reads come from higher in those RSI reads right there as I stumble on my words. But what does that likely mean to me? I mean, it might actually just try from here. It actually might be that strong. Yeah, daily time frame, couple drives of hidden bullish evidence right there. I'm inclined to say that this one actually it actually might try from here, maybe looking something like this where it slightly retests those lows and then comes back up. I would really only have caution on this one, and caution is not the right word to use, but I'd only be looking for this one to come lower into this pocket down here that we have on the LARP lines if you do see like a daily closure below, what is this, Friday's low. If you see something like that, or even Monday's low as well, by the way, if you see what, if you see that, then yes, I'd be looking for this one to correct further first, maybe all the way down here between like 12 to 13 cents. But until then, this one's actually showing strength as of right now. And I do think if you see anything resembling a Bitcoin extension of this bounce, which I do think will happen, maybe not today or tomorrow, but probably early next week, then this thing should actually perform really, really well. It's relatively strong. Compare that with XRP, which is relatively weak, and most altcoins, to be fair, as well. This one is showing very obvious signs of relative strength. In fact, if we look at it versus Bitcoin, I'm sure we'll see exactly that. If we can actually find an exchange that hosts this pair, yeah, I mean, long term, it does hold its uptrend, and you got to respect that. So, yeah. All right, next one. Let's see what we got. We got Jacob, he's back. He's looking at Bitfarms or Bitfuck. Let's see, Bitf right here. Wait, nope, don't need to do that. My bad. All right, let's try this. Okay. All right. Let's see. You're looking at a daily and weekly. I do want to see what the monthly looks like. Okay, interesting here. I remember we looked at this one when it was trading like OTC for this guy who would always ask about it like every day, like 4 years ago. It was way back on over here. Maybe he knew something because this one did explode. But yeah, anyways, monthly I'm not getting too much from. Let's go to the quarterly. I just want to see very, very high term time frame. You can see that the very obvious quarterly range is going to be basically January highs versus April lows. But that's not going to be very helpful right here. If you're looking at a daily, I do think that this one does come down further first. Probably does pop back down, somewhere closer to $2, maybe a little bit below $2. Again, that doesn't really mean anything for the long term here. Short term, yeah, it does come down very, very likely. Weekly, same shit, probably coming down in the short term, but I'd give this one a chance to kind of, find its footing, put in a higher low, anywhere around $2, maybe a little bit above, and just let it put in time, man. That's what I think a lot of this market is doing right now. Again, if this market was going to be truly bearish, like we'd really be expecting Bitcoin to make new lows this week, and we have not seen that. In fact, we've seen Bitcoin try to rally. So for most things, I'm going to be leaning towards just general sideways. In this case, for Bitfarms, short term, I do think it comes back down, but that's not super important or like concerning for the long term. It's just a range play here, and give it a chance to put in a higher low. Again, around $2 or so. RIP says turbo on ETH weekly, daily. Okay, turbo on ETH sounds great already. Do you want to look at it versus Ethereum, or it's just that it's on Ethereum? Maybe it's just that it's on Ethereum. All right, let's check out maybe Binance, I guess is the right one to go to, or MEXC. Probably MEXC, actually. I think that's like the new shitcoin exchange. Okay, so very, 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 very powerful move here in 2024. This is kind of what you expect most of the new shitcoins to do, right? Where they have a very powerful, initial move. And now, well, it is forming a range here. It's just I don't trust it. Look, if Bitcoin actually did have any weakness or shows any weakness, you will see this thing absolutely just smash through this lower boundary right here, and you can see it probably undo a good portion of this rally. I mean, you could very easily see 50% down from that area somewhat quickly. But again, if Bitcoin trades sideways here, you're going to see the same thing on this one. Something like this. Just play out the LARP line sideways. I don't think it's doing anything super interesting in the short term. And that's going to be better for the BULAs. Like, if you are going to be bearish on this thing, you're looking for this one to break below this low, your Friday of, was this last week? Yeah, last Friday's low, like very soon, very, very soon. And I just don't think that's happening. We're seeing volatility contraction right now rather than continuation setup. So it is, things are starting to flip around here, I do think. It's just going to take some more time. Weekly doesn't look like the best to me, but it's just, you kind of got to give things the benefit of the doubt right now. I'd give it a chance to trade sideways. Really, only major concern if you do see this one below Friday's low. Below Friday's low, expect this one to fall apart like relatively fast. But until then, I give it the benefit of the doubt, even though this is like, kind of ugly in my opinion. Anyways, DYOFR. Do your own fucking research. Definitely need some forex analysis on Turkish lira to dollar TRY USD. We haven't looked at forex in a long time here. Actually, I kind of like forex a lot just because it seems to trade very, very technically, and you get these trends which can be your friends. And holy shit, man, that is all the feminists crying to the ether of the world as they realize the truth. Jesus Christ, man. The further that I pull back here, the worse it gets. This is what most shitcoins are going to look like long term. In fact, this is what most shitcoins do look like if they have been around for the long term. But this is just hilarious because it is actually a currency of a rather large and powerful nation. Maybe not hilarious for them, but look, there's nothing that... There's nothing that I can say about this, man. The trend is your friend until the end of the trend, and this thing has been trending ever since the beginning since 1990. So it's gone through over 30 years of just straight down. Do I think it's going to reverse from here? No. Can it have bounces? Sure. Are those bounces likely to fail? Fuck yeah. Just ugly as shit. You know, even if we go to like a quarterly or a yearly, I'm sure it's just. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man.
Yes.
Should we buy it? Yes. Can I pin your message? Where is your message, Mrs. Derp? There it is. I found it. All right, let's pin that shit. Okay. CryptoZ says, could you check out Ondo and PP looking strong than most against Bitcoin? How about just one shitcoin per shits? Okay, Ondo versus Bitcoin. All right. Ondo Finance. Okay, great. Is it strong versus Bitcoin? No, it's not actually. In fact, it's pretty bad. Seems to not have much history here, and for the history that it does have, it looks like it is initiating its long-term downtrend. But in the short term, can it rally back up? Maybe extend this move a little bit more. Ultimately, I don't think it's going to hold that very, very long term, sir. Relative strength is not what I would say about this one, man. Jesus, man. What are you looking at? Looking stronger than most? No, something that looks stronger than most is what we looked at earlier, like with CAS. Those have uptrends. This one, at best, is trendless, and at worst is initiating its long-term downtrend, which is exactly what I think is happening here. You have two pretty strong lower highs here. Anyways, moving on from there. We have Dad Rackus. What's up, man? Spot. Okay, Spotify. Yeah, a real stock. Okay, that's good. Well, we'll see how good it actually is. Short-term down. Short-term, very weekly, also very likely coming down. You know, it's had a tremendous move here, basically since the 2022 lows. I do think you are going to see. I do think that you're going to see a downside move from here. It is very likely to resolve into a higher low, but you know, this thing can come down a lot and still have higher lows. I mean, it could come down very easily to 275, 274 region. Even 250 or 260, and those would still be higher lows here. So I would give it the benefit of the doubt long term, but short term, yeah, very likely does come down. Daily time frame, we have extreme lows on volatility alongside a very, very clear and emphatic downside signal on the daily stochastic oscillator. To me, this is a very clear and obvious downside setup. I would say at least it comes down to like 270, but that can take some time. I mean, this is a daily and weekly time frame after all. So, you know, maybe it spends the rest of summer playing out some move like that. This is also, now that we see the long term, just basically a retest of the all-time highs. Very common to pull back from that number. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised to see this one actually have a much deeper pullback. Now that I look at the monthly right here, you know, we can see that this one's been vertical basically since August of 2023. So basically the last year. You know, if it came down to the 50% level or the 618, those are where I'd be looking for on higher lows, with very likely a big bounce at 250. But I you know, the more that I look at the higher term timeframes, I don't think the 250 number is going to be the next higher low. I think it's going to be a bounce before lower, and then you get your higher low somewhere around here. Again, just retesting your prior all-time high. You know, these are common pullback areas, so wouldn't be asking for too much. But again, going to take a long time here. I mean, this is a monthly after all. Maurice Mendoza says Turbo for our weekly. Did we just look at Turbo bullshit? Yes, we did. We did look at Turbo, but you want to look at a 4 hour, okay? 4 hour on a weekly. That's a. I have to ask what your strategy is. All right, we can look at the 4 hour time frame. Yeah. I'm not getting anything super interesting from here. You know, does it trade a little bit lower and try for a bounce, or does it try for a bounce from exactly right here? I don't have a strong opinion on that. I do think it's generally going to bounce yet again. You know, maybe it comes down to like 0.3 of a cent first, but, or sorry, 3.5 tenths of a cent first. But, you know, generally, best case scenario for this one is sideways for a while, and that actually would be good. You know, long term sets it up for a nice move to the upside, probably in August, you know, late August, something like that. Wild Beast Scream, please. You know, it's I mean, to be fair, it doesn't really deserve like any serious shellacking in terms of just talking shit about charts. I mean, long term, like it has acted well during the cycle, but to me, this is the chart of like an AVAX in 2020 or 2021. It's like it's going to be good this cycle, probably. You know, continues alongside Bitcoin strength, assuming that Bitcoin continues itself, which I do think it will. But long term, you know, does it fall apart? Probably yes. I don't really see anything like super special here. Anyways, let's see. We got Salim. He says, tell our broke friends to spend me more than $4.99. I think you meant tell our broke friends to spend more than me at $4.99. Hey, it's all good, man. You know, at the end of the day, I do appreciate the super chats, regardless of what amount that they are. But you have been very, very generous with that, man, and that's really, really awesome, man. I appreciate that. You know, I mean, we actually probably should just prioritize the higher paying ones, just because like that's, I don't know, it makes logical sense to me, but it's a slow day anyways, man. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate that, brother. Big Bull says moo okay, moo the bull. I can only imagine. Okay, I guess we've looked at this one before. It did put in a higher low wherever my LARP circle is right here. You do have to respect the uptrend. I mean, these are higher lows, and actually probably does retest these highs from early June at whatever the hell that number is. You know, to be fair, for a new cycle shitcoin, it has a lot of the things that you kind of like. Actually, it's new as fuck. It's generally gone up. Especially along Bitcoin bounces. It looks actually to kind of overperform a little bit there. It has very limited history, so it doesn't have the overhead hang that a lot of that a lot of the older shitcoins have. I'd be inclined to say this one actually probably does continue on to new highs long term. It's just there's a very limited amount of history here since March, so there's not really any real projections to be having in terms of areas of interest. It's just, you know, this one should actually overperform with Bitcoin on any sort of a bounce. And I do think that this one, you know, I mean, it's very likely does continue up from here. Just respect the trend. You got 3 higher lows. Might take a little bit of time. Might take a month, but I do think that this one actually makes new highs. It's not bad for a newer shitcoin. Anyways, HFIFM says, FET USD weekly, please. Sure, man. FET. Okay, let's see what we got on Fetch AI. Not good. Well, not super terrible, but don't think it's great either. Sold off a little bit harder than most things. Again, it's relatively weak compared to Bitcoin, already kind of spitting out its attempt for a bounce here. It's a very pitiful attempt already. You know, might very easily retest like 111, 112 region. But again, it's like, do you expect something like this to break down if Bitcoin continues to hold its range? Probably not. Long term, I'm not a big fan of it. I think shit like this is not super interesting, but it's not like the most obvious shitty coin that we've ever seen. Monthly is actually very weird to me. Monthly is very weird to me actually right here. I was not expecting to see something like this, so I would probably hold off on further judgment than that for the long term. Just short term very likely does test a little bit more to the downside, but I do think that you probably try for a bounce somewhere around like 110, 111 region, and then get to play the sideways game with Bitcoin. But the problem with this one is that it really does start to have a pretty, you know, nasty downtrend here, right? There's my old LARP lines. Looks like they're still somewhat valid, but you know, if this one bounces, right, even if it has like a big percentage-wise bounce, it's still lower highs most of the way through. So the problem with something like this is that while it might join with Bitcoin on a bounce, which it very likely would, it probably doesn't reverse a trend. And on any sort of weakness from Bitcoin, this one's very close to actually having like significant breakdowns on your higher term timeframes, which would very likely undo most of this move that you've seen basically since September of last year. So I'd be wary of that as well. But higher term time frame kind of difficult on this one. I'll just go with whatever direction Bitcoin goes. Style Curious says Brett on the 6 and 8 hour. Okay, very interesting request for time frames, but I will oblige it, I suppose. Let's see. Based Brett on CoinEx. Remember, this one was actually one of the better shitcoins that we've seen of recent times. Let's see what it looks like as of now. Okay, daily is starting to. Okay, daily is starting to set in some signals here, kind of similar to the last one in the sense that I do think you might retest somewhere around the low of, I think this was this week or last week, somewhere around like the 10-cent region. I would be looking for a bounce there as well. But the thing with this one is that a bounce on this one, you know, it can bounce up again like 50% from these lows. It could bounce up 50% to 15 cents and still be on a lower high. That's the problem with a lot of these shitcoins right now is that it does seem to me that they're starting to set in like long-term nasty structures, but or just downtrends, really what it is. So it could very easily do something like this and set in lower high and then come back down here and then you got a real problem. But you know, for now, you kind of got to give it the benefit of the doubt, at least for another bounce off this 10 cent or so region. If it does get there and just see how high the bounce gets. I mean, it has been one of the better performers this cycle, to be fair. So shouldn't disparage it just yet. Now, I can tell you exactly where I'd get very concerned about this thing, and it's a pretty obvious region. It's just below this week's low on a daily closing base. You can expect this one to, again, probably have like a 50% move to the downside from there if that happens. Like 5-6 cents, but for now I think you kind of have to give things the benefit of the doubt as long as Bitcoin holds its range. Anyways, I need to drink some water now. Actually, I need to drink some damn water, and then we'll get to Misha Vladimir, definitely Russian or Romanian, actually, based upon your currencies on the RO, and I'm guessing that's the Romanian something rather. Oh, so good water, so good. All right, hello, sir. ICP, medium and long term. Oh, dear Lord, this is gonna be bad. I already know it. I've already known it. Internet computer. Let's see if I eat my words here. Bad, real bad. Holy shit. Should you be buying this shit? Yes. If you want to be broke as fuck, sure. Garbage, just garbage. Does it bounce here? Yes. Yes. Is this one gonna bounce?
Yes.
She's so fucking insufferable. It's crazy. How can you be so dislikable?
Yes.
I can't say that it's a woman. First off, it's not that it's a woman. She has multiple points of fail. No, not failure. God, I should not complete the sentence. I'm just gonna end up saying something terrible. Okay. Jesus Christ! Like I'm just leading myself into the abyss right there. She has multiple points of victimhood. She's a woman. She's black. Probably lesbian, and well, she's got very short hair as well, and that's gotta be worth something.
Non-binary, okay?
Might be non-binary. Anyways, Elsa says, get in with the times. The best thing is being engaged to a non-native English speaker and just all of the errors that they make while speaking. Get in with the times. Shit's about to get down. And what's the other one that you said the other night? Don't hate the messenger. Hate the game. Don't blame the messenger. Blame the game. What the fuck? Okay, let's see. ICP, yeah, again, probably does bounce here, but you know, this one you got to be on lower high watch, right? This one could bounce. I mean, look, this one could bounce like fucking more than a 2x and still be lower highs. That's the problem with something like this. I wouldn't even be looking at a retracement like that. You know, maybe pops back up on a bounce towards $8.5 or $9.5, but again, these are lower highs setting in for the long-term continuation of the downtrend. Nothing bullish about this thing. Nothing good at all as long as it's below minimum like $11. And even then, I mean, it's hard to love something like this. This is just your traditional prior cycle shitcoin trying to survive, trying to find its dead heartbeat in the new cycles. And I don't think that this one is going to flip the long-term trend. Anyways, moving on, we have Noberry. Noberry says, woo USD on the weekly, please. All right, sure. I think this is an exchange token. Woo. Ah, I know some woos. Wait. They also know the woo. Again, prior cycle shitcoin didn't make new highs in 2023. Not a good sign. Very much overperforms to the downside on any sort of Bitcoin weakness. Not a good sign at all. On the daily, do we see a bounce from here? Probably yes. I don't think it's ready to go lower from, its current weekly low at like 14 or 15 cents, whatever the number that is. Probably does try for a bounce here, but bounces are likely to just be that. Lower highs before continuation to the downside. Again, this thing can bounce significantly. I mean, another one that can bounce 50% and still be like a perfect lower high. It would have to bounce literally a 2x just to reverse the trend. And this thing's literally never reversed the trend long term. I mean, kind of the weekly actually has for a little bit, but nothing on the macro scale here. So while I do think it's going to bounce from here, I don't think that bounce is going to be your reversal. I think your bounce likely leads into another lower high, or if it even does reverse, like this is going to be a very long process, like another year maybe. This would take a long time, I suspect. I mean, this is a monthly chart right here. Like best case scenario is like boom, 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 comes back up, puts in a higher low there, and then you're in like 2026 basically. Something like that. I think that's less likely. The general trajectory for mostly shitcoins is just down, 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 and more down we go until we find no, motherfucker, where is it? Oh my god, I've lost all of my best sounds. It's very sad actually. Wait, is this it? Oh god. Oh god. The Video Kingdom says UBXS on Gate.io for more history. Nice. Thank you for specifying that, by the way. I've literally never heard of this thing, so well, let's see. let's see what it's got. Okay, Gate.io. Okay. Oh yes, there it is. Gate.io. It's the gay exchange. It's the gay exchange. Yes. Pride month is over? Oh shit. Well, I'm sure we got some other sort of Black History Month coming up soon enough anyways. Looking at the daily right here for UBXS. Again, I do think this thing is going to bounce more from here first. How high can it bounce? Well, let's see where... Oh my god, okay, that's not fucking happening. Let's see, I mean, maybe 23 to 25 cents. Still, that would be a lower high. Long term, well, I mean, it at least made new highs above its 2022 highs, so there's that. But again, a prior cycle shitcoin, I do think you're doing something like this. You pop back up here, you're going to come back down into range, and then the real question is, after that, do you set in a higher low or not? So while I do think this one is likely to bounce from here, long term, I'm not so sure about it. Really, it's going to be determined by what happens after this bounce, and does that bounce put in a higher low or not? For right now, I think the easy call is just general bounce from here. Maybe after fishing out these lows one more time, definitely possible. But after that, very likely ready for a bounce, and then come back to it, I don't know, in like a month or two when we actually have something new to be looking at perhaps. Time Attack says NASDAQ ARM weekly. Yes indeed, sir. We're gonna go to the NASDAQ over here for ARM holdings. Yes. Actually, not well, it's a real stock, so it's not really surprising that it has a good chart. Well, how much history do we even have here? It goes back to September of last year, so it hasn't been around for that long. Again, you have a stock that's been acting well during this current cycle. The stock market generally is still bullish. It's kind of hard to be bearish on the on stocks, at least until elections. Depending upon who gets elected, will likely determine whether the market continues to be bullish or not. But for here, long term, I still have to be bullish on this. Monthly is very, very nice. I think this one does just kind of get a free ride to new highs between now and November. Short term, or Yeah, no, sorry, you're not short term. You're weekly here. You know, generally, I think this one's going to continue to make new highs. Actually, even the daily actually is looking like it's just continuation here. Really, only potential issues. Issues is not the right word, but potential reversal for the daily if you come back down below about 154. Until then, just respect the trend. Respect the trend. That's the beautiful thing about traditional markets. The trends are, fairly obvious, and they typically continue for a very, very long time, actually, as well. Anyways, we have Steven Schickman says Doggy Coin monthly. Sure, man. Doggy Coin. Let's see what Dog is doing. I'm going to guess not much because I don't hear much about it. And what do you know? Back down to 11 cents. Where is my doggy song? Where is my doggy song? I forgot where it is. Okay, let's actually do a new chart for this one because it's too damn convoluted on this one. Look, long term, this actually is just one massive range, right? You know, here's your range high, here's your range low. You just got not just, but rejected from the range highs in March when everything was making new all-time highs. Not a great sign for doggy coin long term. But I do think it is going to dig in here for something resembling a higher low. Does it come down a little bit more first, towards like 8 cents, 7 cents, whatever? I don't know. But I would be looking for higher lows there and for it to continue on with the sideways party. It's just, I don't think this one's going to be like an outperformer this cycle. Although long term, one thing that doggy coin has that most shitcoins do not have is macro higher lows. So I do think, I don't really have a reason to believe that that's not going to continue long term, but I just don't think it's going to be overperforming, a lot of the newer things, especially granted that it failed to make anywhere near prior all-time highs during the March rally. I mean, it got to 20 cents or so, and prior all-time highs 75 cents. I mean, that's just not relative strength. So, pretty unimpressive here long term. I mean, it's pretty unimpressive, but also it is pretty impressive just because it is an altcoin that has held its macro lows very long term. But short term. Very, very short term, does it try for a bounce? Again, if Bitcoin tries for a bounce, it will. Maybe back up to like 12, 13 cents, whatever. But I do think that bounce will very likely come back down and you continue on with the long-term weekly range. And that's very likely what this one's going to be doing for a long time here, I suspect. Most importantly, I don't think it's going to do anything like this, nor like this. I think it's going to be just kind of spin it out sideways, basically, and be relatively uneventful. All right, we have Tobo next. He's looking at Tesla weekly and monthly, or you want to look at Solana. Well, pick one, man. Jesus Christ. We can look at. I mean, I'm actually happy to look at Tesla. Just kind of break things up with some traditional markets again, and Tesla. Oh my God, the LARP lines. The LARP lines are. Whoops. Damn it, I'm just drawing lines right there. But the LARP lines actually seemingly playing out here as well. This was an inverted herp and derp and very close to the implied target from this one. Maybe a little bit further north to like 280, 285, something like that. Long term, this is actually starting to look a lot better long term with this move, as this is going to not just be a weekly short term breakup, but a monthly higher low on momentum turning back up above 216, which this one's well above. So, to me, Tesla is looking more and more like it's going to prove itself long term. You might have a pullback based off of that $300 number or 285, whatever it ends up being, somewhere around there. But that pullback is just going to lead to a daily higher low. I mean, this monthly chart very likely is going to retest all-time highs from 2022. Maybe later this year, perhaps 2025, something like that. But I don't think this one's done just yet. If we go here to the quarterly, yeah, same shit. Momentum's about to turn back up. You do have a higher low in place, and it's very close to actually making a higher high. Can you fill up my water, please? I need more water. Ketos. All right, nice one. All right, Style Series, what's up, man? Brand new, life-changing, top-tier technology, PPI, 4 and 8 hour. PPI? Pi. Okay, great. Yeah, this one has all the makings of the newest, hottest shitcoin, right? And to be fair, on the monthly, it just goes up, so that's a good sign. It has acted really well, very, very well during Bitcoin kind of just holding things sideways really at the lows. So that's a sign of relative strength. And of course, it's a lot easier to have relative strength when you've only been around for literally like 3 weeks. So there's that. But I mean, that is a feature, not a bug at this point. Very short term, 4 hour time frame. Do I think it comes back down a little bit? Perhaps yes, maybe back down to like 26 or so, or 27, whatever the hell the number is right there. But have to respect the trend here first and foremost. Sorry, could come down a little bit more than that. Let's actually see where the fibs are. Let's see. I like this area right here for a higher low. If you see something like that after a little bit of a pullback, very good indication that this one does, continue on to new highs in this case. And again, you're probably going to see Bitcoin, bounce if that happens. Like if Bitcoin bounces this one, we'll actually outperform it. Very, very likely. This is these are the charts of the kind of like the newer shitcoins that are going to perform better in the more near term, I suppose, during this cycle. Joey Burden says Prime USD in daily. All right, let's check it out. Prime. All right, I remember this one popping up a lot a while ago. Let's see where it's at now. I'm trying to find an exchange that probably has the most history. I don't see the index here, so I'm going to go with CoinEx because that's where shitcoins usually are born. And terrible, very bad. Wow, terrible on the 4-hour daily time frame. Better long term. Is going to very likely bounce off of this retest of your January 2024 lows. Just kind of like a pity bounce right there at least. But, when you have aggressive sell-offs like this, it's never a good sign long term. I mean, this one's top is at $30. It's now trading at $8. I mean, that is a 72% drawdown. Do we have anything to say about that? Yes. That's right. We fucking do. It's not a good sign, man. Do I think it's going to bounce here? Yes. Do I think it's going to bounce more here? Yeah. Do I think it can very easily come up, maybe even for like a 2x, or sorry, not a 2x move, but like a 50% move from here? Actually, yes. It could very easily pop back up here and test your highs from like late June. But I would be looking for it to do something like this, kind of at best. Long term, nothing to be excited about here as long as you're below your June highs, basically. But short term, do I think it bounces? Yes. I would only be super concerned about it long term if you do see it back down below about 680, something like that. At that point, this thing very likely falls over and undoes significant amount of this rally that began about a year ago. But for now, give it a chance to bounce. After that bounce, it's kind of like some of the other shitcoins that we've seen today. Be mindful of higher lows first. It's just hard to be looking for shitcoins to break down if Bitcoin holds things sideways, and they probably will continue as well. Sweet. All right. Ruthie says, when Elden Ring Strum? Actually, I've been fucking loving it recently. I just completed the DLC. It was phenomenal. One of the best games of all time. In fact, maybe even the best game of all time. The final boss, holy shit fuck, that was a hard one. That was very, very difficult. I can't imagine that most people will be able to beat it unless if they use a summon. So fair enough. But yeah, when streams, probably when we go back to Dubai, just because my setup there is closer to the TV, so it just makes streaming easier. Whereas here in Helsinki, I actually play on my Gay Station 5 in the other room, so it's a little bit harder to stream from there. Yeah, it is what it is, man. Anyways, you are looking at GTLB daily, weekly. Okay, GTLB. All right, GitLabs. GitLabs. This is like a real stock. All right, daily, weekly. Let's see what we got. I didn't know that they went IPO. What did they sell? I guess I just don't know. Anyways, okay, we potentially have a macro higher low here. Okay, maybe not so much on a monthly time frame, but this one's actually a very tough one for me. You do see clear and obvious range highs here. We also do see potential for this being the next macro higher low here, and I think you kind of have to treat it like that, especially in this market environment where most things in traditional markets are just getting free rides to new highs. This one obviously relatively weak. It hasn't really joined in on the general market strength, which is not a great sign. But I'd actually give it a chance here to. I'd give it a chance here to put in a higher low. I'd treat this one as a higher low first. You are seeing momentum turn back up on the weekly, monthly, not so much. So that would be kind of a counterpoint to what I'm saying. But it provides a very clear and obvious failure point, meaning that below, what is this? This week's low? Yeah. Sorry, not this week. June 17th low, basically the June lows. If you do see below the June lows, then yeah, this one very likely does fall back apart, coming back down to like $35 or so. But as long as it's above there, I'd actually treat this one as trying to put in a macro higher low, and you can play the position that way. Of course, it's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but that's what I'd do if you put a gun to my head and said, Krown, you have to play this damn thing right here, right now. I'm trying to look at the quarterly. Quarterly makes me a lot less optimistic about a higher low going on there, but it is a position to potentially play because it has a very obvious, failure point. So below about, what is this, $40, $42, then look for this one to probably come back down to like close to all-time lows and maybe even trend to new lows. But this is kind of like the decision point right here. So yeah, fair enough. Anyways, we have Joey Burden. He says, render 4 hour and daily. See you in the course. See you later in the course as well. That just a quick reminder that anyone who is in the crypto school over here. What? Oh, the camera died. The camera's dead. Oh, well, fuck it. We don't need it, man. We don't need it at all.
Yes.
We'll put it over
yes.
here.
Yes.
There we
Yes.
go. Oops.
Yes.
And there's my yes.
Yes.
My apologies. I should let you know that if you are in the crypto school over here, which you can actually join for the next cohort, which starts in 10 days, we'll be having our live stream later today on Thursdays. And so will be for the next cohort as well. Anyways, render 4 hour and daily. Let me go to this chart. There we go. Okay. Actually, I don't want market cap. I want real price. Yes, there we go. Yes. All right, 4 hour and daily. A little bit weaker in the short term than what we've seen on a lot of things today. It is interesting to me because long term, this one has actually been a pretty good performer. So wouldn't have actually expected to see that. Not the best sign. We do again see pretty obvious boundaries here for your range low. In the case of a bounce, which I do think that this one will get. Again, to put some perspective here, it could bounce up from, what is it at right now? About $6 to the last lower high to $10. That's like a 69% bounce, great number, and still be on lower highs. Like that's kind of the problem with a lot of these things. So while I do think that you're probably going to bounce from here, maybe after one retest of these lows, it could very easily come back up here to like $8-9, which is still a very big percentage move. It's just another lower high, and that does start to really look like this one is ready to break down long term after 1, 2, and then assuming that does play out, you'd have 3 lower highs. That's usually when things do start to actually, actually break those formations. So in this case, while I do think it's probably going to bounce off this area yet again, low $6 after maybe one more retest, it's kind of hard to be optimistic on it just because it would need such a large percentage-wise bounce to continue on with the long-term trend and hold those higher lows long-term. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see that happening, but then again, you don't have to see it happening. You just have to happen. So, in my opinion, give it a chance first. I'll say the same thing as what I said on a lot of these shitcoins, that give it a chance first and then see where those rejections come in around. And so the next move is probably kind of obvious. It's the move after that that's really going to set in the long-term trend. So short-term bounce, as are most of these things, probably setting up for. It's just these bounces, a lot of them, is going to be very, very difficult for them to continue with the trend. What's up, Colin McCann? Long time, man. Very long time. Hope everything's well, dude. Can you check out the Balkan Dwarf, baby? Fuck yeah, man. I actually still have it on my list over here, even though I'm done with it. But actually not bad. I mean, for a meme shitcoin, pretty good. Pretty fucking good here, actually. You do see, generally holding the sideways range here. It's generally acted well, while most things in this market have kind of struggled. You got the same sort of range here that we've had. The LARP lines continue to play out. I think the LARP lines will be mostly right here. You'll see this bounce continue basically. Maybe it trades above this last bounce high that we saw in early July, something like this. If it does, then that would be long-term bullish, but I don't think things are going to continue from there. I still think you're doing, a little bit more sideways action, and you're still not looking really for a breakout until like late August, early September. But this one actually holding things relatively well, and it's a pretty obvious area to be looking at this one as failure for the current consolidation, and that would be below, again, this lower boundary here, just your July lows basically. What the fuck happened? Did you turn that off? Did it break? Uh-oh. But as long as above there, I'd be looking at any sort of sideways price action in here as long-term constructive and long-term likely to lead towards probably new highs, actually. It does seem that this cycle meme coins are the thing, and if you're going to err on one side of the market, the meme coins are the ones to err on. Even though that sounds, very unlogical or dislogical or just stupid, but it is what it is, man. It's the same shit as like DeFi in 2020, right? It really doesn't matter the fundamentals of these things, in my opinion. It just matters about, what the market's favoring, and this market cycle is favoring meme coins. This just is what it is. Last cycle was DeFi, and the cycle before that was Ethereum ICO shit. just vaporware garbage. Anyways, Jay Boogie says MPC with USD. Elsa asked me yesterday, am I an MPC? Do you know what an MPC is, sir? Non-playable coin. Okay. Not much history here. For the history that we do have, look, it's been around for like 2 weeks, man. I don't know how much I trust something like this. Look, I don't have a real opinion on something like this, man. I really don't. If I had to call it, I'd say down just because, one, shitcoin, two, it's generally gone down already. And kind of like the other ones, I do think it's going to try for a bounce here. Could even bounce all the way up. How big of a percentage bounce would this be? It could bounce up like 30% and still be in lower high territory. So, that's what makes these things difficult, but just too new here to really do any real analysis on. If you put a gun to my head and said, call it, I'd say bounce. And then that bounce fails somewhere between like 1.6 cent to 1.8, somewhere around there, like in this zone right here, I'd say, just be on lower high watch there. But again, would I stand by this analysis? Fuck no. It's way too new. That's just gun to the head. Say something, basically. Mr. Schickman is back. He says SoFi. Hold on. Yes, SoFi. Okay, I had to focus my eyes there. It looked wrong actually in terms of like letters, but yep, it is indeed SoFi. It's RAI Finance. All right. First thing that stands out here is that it doesn't trade that much. Second thing that stands out is that it's absolutely fucking terrible and only goes down. And third thing that stands out is that you have. Yes, I agree. Pretty bad, man. Yeah, I don't have any real opinion on this thing other than just very, very bad. All bounces fail. Has a nice history of only failing. Looks like absolute garbage. Kryptone says, yes, that's right. Yes. All right, we have Colin McCann's back. He's looking at Daddy Tate. Oh, this is going to be good. This is going to be very, very good. Daddy Tate. All right. What's Andrew Tate going to enlighten with us next? Daddy Tate coin. Not as bad as what I would have expected. Not much history here to really be going off of as well. So that's not really fair to be analyzing something like this, to be honest. For the history that we do have, I'm on very low term timeframes here. It very rarely trades, or very, very minimal trading here. It's got to be a better chart here than this. There's got to be more history somewhere, right? Surely people can't be falling into this trap just yet. Short term, it probably does go up here, actually. Short term, look, again, there's not much history. It's been around since middle of June. Not even a month. Do I think it's going to bounce here? Yes. The question is, does this bounce carry you back above 23 and change? 23 cents, and change. If it does, this thing actually will probably run for a little bit of time. So, if you see something like this, boom, pop back up here, and then actually trade and close back above there, this thing actually probably does run for a while. It's hard to make a call on something that is this new. By the same token, if you see basically below this week's low, what is this, like 14 cents or so? I'd be looking for this one to probably just absolutely shit the bed and come back down to your June lows. But just very difficult in something that's this new. For what it's worth, I actually do think it kind of has a chance here. And again, meme token, it's got one of the better memes with Daddy Tate. He's very hot right now, Mr. Tate. So perhaps that helps out. Short-term timeframes, should bounce here. So I'd just be cognizant that this bounce, if this bounce actually does trade above these range highs, this one actually probably will run for a while. It's just the right market environment for that, but just be aware of where a lot of these bounces come in around for this next move. Jay Boogie is back. He wants to look at MPC versus Ethereum. Okay, more history. All right, that would be better actually. MPC versus Ethereum. Okay, so let's see if there's any better. Not much better, actually. There's literally not not much more history here, man. Maybe this one. Okay, much more history on this one, but actually still not much history at all. Been around for about a year, so it's better than before. For what we're looking at right here, it's very similar. My analysis for it really isn't going to change all that much. I do think it's going to bounce here, as are most things. You know, they're probably digging in for a bit of a bounce, but this one looks to me to be actually entering into a big reversal. So, you know, just put in perspective, in order for this one to reverse the trend, you need to see it bounce back above 7, whatever this number is right here, which is, from current stature, a 70% move. Yes. Again, and this is versus Ethereum, so don't know how useful that's going to be, but I'm curious what a weekly looks like. Weekly looks like a local high. This one did go for a pretty nice move, but I do think that you're going to be searching for your next higher low on the weekly time frame now. Jesus, that is a crazy move right there. Let me even pull that back. Wow, so you're already below the 618 fib here. How is that even possible? Maybe I go for the muted one. Nope, still. I guess next obvious area would be down around here. I'd be expecting bounces around there. Very, very short term. Does it try a bounce here? Probably yes, but I don't think it's going to be anything super significant. Again, it would require Bitcoin to pop back up towards, I think, 64,000 or 65,000 bucks it was, something like that. SoFi technology stock. Oh, my bad. Okay, my apologies, sir. My apologies. Yeah, if it is a stock, please do indicate that, just because, being that this is generally focused on cryptocurrencies, I'm going to default to like some shitcoin. But of course, traditional markets is more than welcome here. That is where I come from, after all. And on SoFi Technologies, a little bit better here. Very likely does continue on with this current bounce. Don't like that it hasn't joined the rest of the market in the very, very strong moves that they've been having for really the past couple of years. That's not a good sign long term, but rising tide does lift all ships, and this one, the tide is rising. So I do think it's very likely going to continue on with this rally here, probably close to $7, but I guess the hopium is that you're going to play out the, what's it called? The falling derp. You're going to play out a falling derp here, right? I'm not a fan of these sort of formations, man, but, does it? These seem to work out a little bit more in traditional markets. Maybe it does test the upper boundary of this. I think you will at least test like $7, but if you do start to see it trade back above like $8, let's say, above 8, actually would be looking for this one to have a pretty significant rally, probably closer to $10, maybe $11. But long term, it's not a good sign whenever you see something like this that has been generally straight down when traditional markets have been literally straight up. So yeah, very likely to bounce here. Just be aware of where those numbers come in around above $8. I think it will run, but just be aware that this one not showing relative strength. All right. Got some more water in me, and I think we are maybe almost even done with the stream right now.
Did you check the Nasdaq?
Yes, I just fucking did it, sir. Pay attention.
Oh.
Anyways, I'll read some of the comments off right here, and then we'll probably wrap it up for today. Like I said, it is a school day as well, so later on we'll do another live stream. Anyways, all right, let's see. Do we have Carpe Derpio? Yeah, we can look at Carpe Derpio. I'm curious what that one looks like at this point. Is it surviving this market cycle or not? And it's kind of exactly what you'd be expecting for most shitcoins, right? Just kind of hanging on for dear life. Does it come lower here in the short term? Maybe, but for most of these things, they're going to be setting up bounces relatively soon. These are my LARP lines from, I don't know, a week or two ago. I wouldn't be fully confident that it comes all the way down here. I'd only be confident if it comes down here if you see Bitcoin break below its current lows. This one actually having a decent short-term bounce, to be fair. But again, does it do something like this? Boom, then set up for a bounce? Probably yes. Don't think that this one sees anything outside of like the general long-term range until end of summer here minimum. Yeah. Again, hard to love long-term whenever you see some just have a catastrophic fall like this and not join for new all-time highs in the next cycle. I mean, that's just not a good sign. It's just not a good sign. Although I do think It's actually very, very close to a bounce here, if not already initiating it. And it could very easily bounce back up towards like 50 cents. It's just as long as you're below these March highs, the trend has remained unchanged, sir. Remain unchanged. All right, maybe a couple more. Let's see what we got. He likes the 78-minute chart. I actually do like the 78-minute chart. It's pretty good. It's a secret chart. It's a very secret chart. Good morning from London Airport, heading to Accra, Ghana. Holy shit, man. Pray this dump is done. Yeah. We shall see, sir. We shall see. Let's see. Vet Weekly. All right, we'll do one for African Crypto Warlord. Symbol VET. Again, this one is a 2017 shitcoin, I believe. Let's see how it's doing now. Yeah, okay, 2017 shitcoin. Kind of very similar to Cardano, right? Didn't join in the current cycle on new highs. Generally, likely going to play out the long-term range here. Is it ready for a bounce now? Probably yes. I mean, I think most things are setting up for a bounce, maybe after one more retest of the lows, something like that, very possible. But sideways, I think, is still the name of the game. It's just hard to get excited about this thing as long as you're below this 5-cent high. Above 5 cents, I do think that this one will probably move back north of 10 cents. So that is a pretty big percentage move. Obviously, that's like a 2x. But for now, you know, I think you're going to be going sideways for a while, man. Sideways at best for a while. See what the daily looks like. Yeah. Maybe one more retest of these lows here, something like this, and then pops back up. But sideways is the name of the game, man. I don't think you're doing anything like super, super interesting here. Obviously, you already know this, Mr. African Crypto Warlord, but anywhere below these range lows, which is like 14 cents, and this one's got big problems. I don't think that's what's happening here, though. I think it will hold this, just probably not going to overperform to the upside. Can you do Superverse, not coin? What? I just know Superverse. Superverse? What the fuck? We can look at it. See what we got here. Yeah, not good to see this one break down. You know, showing some relative weakness here, to be fair, to my man Elliot, who is a good friend. But looking at this, you know, it's kind of like a lot of the other shitcoins. Is it going to retest these lows here? Maybe. Is it going to bounce? Very likely, yes. Bounces are just that, lower highs. You know, as long as you're below even $1, and that's a big percentage move from here. That's almost a 2x from here. So I do think it can very easily pop back up towards, you know, 70 cents. Just, I think it's going to be going sideways at best for a while. Unfortunate. I really wanted to see this one continue. This was back in May, but that did not happen. So, damn it, I'm doing it again with the damn lines. My apologies. Ondo, we already did Ondo. Mr. Banana Man. We did render as well. Pay attention, sir. Hitty, weed stocks. Okay, we can look at some weed stocks. I haven't looked at that in a long time. High Tide, great name. Not great chart. Nice monthly local high there. Next move is down. Very likely coming back down like 150, 160. You know, you have a lower high on monthly momentum turning back down. I don't think it needs to be any more complicated than that. Short term, you know, is there going to be bounces along the way? Sure, yeah, of course. It's not going to be straight down, but generally I'd be looking for this one to continue on down here. Not a big fan of this chart. We already did render, sir. We did render multiple times, you motherfucker. And Ondo. Holy shit. It's all the same damn tickers. Can you please Rose? We can look at Rose. I'm sure it's absolute garbage, so let's check it out. Oasis Network. Wow, terrible. Holy shit. I'm surprised. You know, just garbage from last cycle. Absolute garbage from last cycle. Again, like most things, can it bounce here? Sure. Is that bounce going to reverse the long-term trend? Probably not. Is this one going to continue to trend closer and closer to zero long-term? Probably yes. Is it absolute garbage with no intentions to ever fulfill its promises as whatever sort of god-awful technology that it could be? Probably also yes. Is it under accumulation by the whales who are just trying to get your rose coins for cheap?
Yes.
Yes. That's right. Yes. Probably bounces here. Probably fails as well. Lower highs the whole way through. Anything below 200 Satoshis, just more garbage. More garbage, sir. More garbage. Pancake swap. Okay, yeah. We'll end on pancake blah, 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 blah. Pancake swap. Haven't looked at this one since like 2021 or 2022. Yeah, exactly what you'd expect. Exactly what you'd expect. So this thing's never known what an uptrend is. Why do you expect it to ever reverse? It doesn't know how to go up. It doesn't know. You know how Zoolander can't look to his left, or is it right? I don't fucking know. But this one literally can't go up. It doesn't know what up is. Just garbage from prior cycles. Is it possible that I'm just a hater? I mean, I do hate these charts. I mean, they're fucking awful. Just god awful. Like, the hell? Like, Jesus Christ, man. You don't have to play these things. Like, it's... Do I need to give myself AIDS? Do I need to destroy my account? Well, PancakeSwap is here to solve your financial issues. Do you hate having money in your bank? Do you hate being able to buy shit? Then I present to you PancakeSwap. It's the solution to being broke. Nah, man, it's really, really bad. Look, like most things, it can have bounces along the way, but it's literally never known what an uptrend is. 2023, everything and their mother rallied to new all-time highs and beyond. This thing did not. It was still, holy fucking moly, about 736% move to the upside. Bullish. Bullish.
Yes.
Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Very bullish. Very, very bullish. All right. I see. Okay, I'll do this last one just because I'm sure there's going to be a great conversation. Tadius Klein says, hello, guys. Hello, sir. Can you check out Fact versus USDT? Sure, man. What's Fact going to be looking like? Factorn. Facts on the blockchain. We need them on the blockchain. Wow. Okay, more garbage. Holy shit. Very surprising on this chart. Yeah. Awful. Fucking bad. Like most things, it can bounce. Maybe it even does bounce. Is it going to reverse the trend? Fuck no. I shouldn't say fuck no. I say very, very, very unlikely. Just imagine this price action right here. 10 days of straight down. Guys, hey, guys, in the past 10 days, my coin went down 52.5%. Is there any news that I should know about? Is there something happening or something like that? Is this just like bad market, or this is not my gay voice. This is my, I like to get absolutely wrecked with dumb shitcoins voice. Well, we all know where this one's going.
Yes.
And on that note, sirs and sirs, it's been an absolute pleasure. I apologize for all the shit talking during this stream. I still love everyone here. In fact, I would never talk shit about a person. I would just talk shit about charts. And this is a god-awful chart. I mean, it should fucking kill itself and just not exist anymore. But the people involved, they're great. They're amazing. And that's where we're going to end things today. Thank you for joining in. Thank you to our moderator team, Mr. Bear Nutrition, Mr. Caretaker, Mr. African Crypto Warlord, and Elsa, I guess. And all of our OG friends of this cave. Again, you can join on in to our Discord for free in the link in the description below. It's right here if you want to check it out. Again, it is free, but I should warn you, it requires a strength of heart and mind in order to survive. But that's okay, because if you're in this community, you probably figured that out. And yeah, great place for us to end today. Again, if you're in the crypto school, we'll be doing a nice little live stream later if you want to join on in. And second cohort begins in 10 days, which you can join for free with an exchange account. And we'll end things on that note. As always, I want to wish you the best of the best. There is no video, so we can't wave in the background, but we do love you. And as always, I'd like to wish you the best of the best. Take care, much love, and see you hopefully